Today we are animating a page from the Wings of Fire graphic novel because I cannot wait any longer for an animated series that may or may not be happening. I need something real that I can see now. If you're not familiar with Wings of Fire, or it's been a hot second since you've read the series, do not worry. I'll make sure to try my best to explain what's going on. Emphasis on try. So what exactly does animating a comic page mean? Well, it means whatever content is on that page, I will have to animate a scene as if it was a snippet from an animated series, to make the choosing process more fun, and to combat my decision paralysis. I will have a total of 3 chances to blindly pick a spread. Then I'll choose one page to animate. And yeah, that's it. Let's get into choosing the page. Hello, so I got the first graphic novel of Wings of Fire. I've had this since middle school, since it was like 2018. I took it to school every day in my bag and I clearly did not take care of it, but that is besides the point. I have not read the graphic novel in a few hot years, but I do remember the rough events of it. A few scenes I do not absolutely want to get are the fight Coliseum scenes, and I also don't really want to animate like the beginning portions because that's also a lot of dragons, but I think generally there are just a lot of dragons in this like graphic novel. The one scene I would really want is the conversation between Peril and Clay, because it's just between 2 characters and that would be the easiest, but I'm not exactly sure where I should go. I'm thinking maybe the middle. I don't really want any of the cave scenes. I don't know. Okay, so we're just gonna open it up. Okay, what? So what is this? This was just before the exciting page, huh? It's literally just Clay thinking. I don't know if I can make an animation off of this. Maybe this, but it's super out of context. Like, I didn't know what this was from. I'm gonna try a little bit earlier. It's Clay just thinking again. Oh my god. Okay, so probably not this one. Please, I want one with actual action. Okay, should I go back or forward? That's the question. Probably back. Coin, should I go forward or backwards? So this is forward, this is backwards, okay? Okay, so I should go forward. Okay. This is gonna get worse, isn't it? This is the page, okay. Okay, I can work with this. It's either this or Clay just thinking to himself, so, or an out of context page. I think I might choose this page because this is like a turning point in the story. And it's mostly just dialogue and dragons looking at each other, so I don't have to draw dragon action. Thank God. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, we can work with this. Now what exactly is happening here? Well, basically this brown dragon named Clay has been captured by Queen Scarlet and forced to fight in her arena. While being kept prisoner, he forms a connection with Peril, the undefeated champion, and a dragon with fire scales, which is exactly what it sounds like. Peril discovers that another prisoner, Kestrel, is actually her mom. This page is Scarlet revealing that in order to free Kestrel, Peril must defeat Clay. Got all that? Well, that wasn't all of it, but that's the gist. For my astute viewers, you might be wondering, what am I gonna do for the audio? Here's your answer. Okay, so I've written down the script and we are just going to record. I am very scared because I don't know if you noticed, but my voice is like the opposite of Scarlet. On behalf of the prisoner Kestrel, my champion Peril has... Okay, I need to do more sinister, right? I need to get into her headspace. The thought, she might be British. I think I'm doing this wrong. I think I headcanon her as British. Isn't that thrilling? Why is she giving Mean Girls? Isn't that thrilling? Thrilling isn't a word anymore. I have no voice acting experience at all, by the way. I think you can tell. That is just... Why did I think this was a good idea? Why did I think this was a good idea? If she loses, then I'll have to get a new champion. It's giving YouTuber voice. No, that's so bad at acting. Holy crap. She has to be kind of shouting, right? 'Cause she's shouting to the whole arena. But when I shout, my microphone pops. I know what you're thinking. I think I've used that line in my videos before. I know what you're thinking. Isn't that thrilling? Something like that, but like better. Uh-oh, stinky poopy. Sorry. I kind of want to do the whole thing, but just in like a Valley Girl voice. Oh my god. On behalf of prisoner Kestrel, my champion Peril has asked to fight a dragon of my choosing. Isn't that thrilling? Okay, the fact that I did that in like 2 takes. Guys, I think I found my passion. I'm having so much fun in that one, but I can't use it. I'm sorry. Let's see if we can fiddle around with like voice changing. So like deepening the voice and doing like reverb. Because it's like supposed to be across the stadium, right? My champion Peril has Peril wins. Castro. Yeah, that's too bassy. I'm gonna slightly deepen it. Just like a little bit. Like 1%. Yep, that... I think I can deepen Clay's voice though, definitely. When does it not work? Okay, I think like 5 mark is good. A little bit. This is fine for now. Okay, let's export it. With about an hour of recording down, I got about a 20-second audio clip that I was happy enough with. Here it is in all its glory. On behalf of Prisoner Kestrel, my champion Peril has asked to fight a dragon of my choosing. If Peril wins, Kestrel goes free. If she loses, I guess I'll have to get another champion. I know what you're all thinking. Peril can't lose. Well, it just so happens, here we have a dragon whose scales are impervious to fire. Uh-oh. Isn't that thrilling? Now on to the part you've all been waiting for. Designing the dragons. I learned from my Percy Jackson video to make sure I'm happy with the designs before I went to the animation, so I wanted to do multiple drafts of the characters until I was actually satisfied. The first thing I did was loose concept sketches, experimenting with different facial features and just trying to keep it loose and see what I like. It's fun to see how each dragon became more distinct with each sketch. I wanted to make Clay blockier, with softer features to reflect his kind-hearted nature and almost protector-like role of the main dragonette. His face essentially became 2 rounded blocks and I love it. For Peril, I kept the scale patterns across her face in the comic because I like them and they look pretty. I wasn't happy with how generic her face shape looked until I made her 2 face spikes, if that's the right word, more pronounced, giving her silhouette an almost star-like shape. Scarlet came the easiest. Her face mask and pronounced face spikes were inspired by Annie-Cation's Scarlet design, so credit to them. This is like exactly how I imagined her, so not really any other design changes. I kept the rubies above her eye and the jewelry and chainmail she has in the graphic novel. I was pretty satisfied with these sketches, so now it is on to the refs. Or that's what I would say if I was boring. What I actually did next for some reason was decide to redraw the comic page in my style with these designs. Like the sketches, I tried to keep it loose. The main goal here was to see these designs in action. I like Peril and Clay's colors from the comic, so I literally just color picked them. You might notice that I changed Scarlet's colors just a little bit. We'll talk about it more in the ref section. I also thought it would be good to start figuring out the color palettes of the dragons in the environment I would be animating them in. Redrawing the comic page also helped me grasp the paneling and pacing of the page, since I'm more of a hands-on, rewriting the entire script instead of using the outline you already have. Why are you like this? Oh well, look, the page is done anyways. Now actually onto the references. These would be the final tie-down of the designs. Well, not really, but we're not there yet. I wanted to do a full body and a couple expressions at different angles. For Clay, I translated the more blocky, rounded features of his design to the rest of his body. He is shorter and bulkier than the Skywing, more compact if you will. I tweaked his colors to be a bit darker and more saturated to lean into the more cartoony feel of my style, and did the same for Peril. Speaking of Peril, I played around with making her horns and inner wings the same shade of sky blue as her eyes, and I think I cooked. I find trying to limit colors for designs in animation to 6 colors or less will save countless hours of animating. I'd also see it looks more unified. Less colors also means you want to leave more of an impression with the ones you do have. I shifted Scarlet's color scheme to a more crimson red, even if it doesn't directly match her name. She's always kind of looked like this in my head. The red also contrasts nicely with the orange yellows of her jewelry and her eyes, even if the dragons don't appear side by side in the animation. I created a height chart just to see how tall the dragons are. It amuses me how Scarlet looms over Clay. Queen shit. And now we are finally actually onto planning the animation. I made real rough thumbnails and then imported and sliced them into Premiere Pro with the audio and then shuffled around the clips until I got something I liked. While referencing the board, I started to sketch out the rough animation. I started by doing a rough sketch and a singular colored keyframe for each shot. I pretty much always stray away from refs when animating, no matter how much pre-production I do. The only way I know if a design is good or not is if I actually animate it. I do think all that prep work paid off though, because the only thing I really did change was to take away the scales running along the dragon's bodies, because I knew that would be a hell to keep consistent between shots and color. Hindsight? Yeah, I'm right, always. Animating the first shot was pretty simple, just a stepping animation for Pearl. Mark my words though, we will come back. The second shot is an extended lip sync of Scarlet. I started by keyframing the basic movements of the mouth. I then colored them preemptively to make sure the mouth would work with the head. This is very important to check when animating a moving mouth with a separate head. After I was satisfied with the mouth movements, I then added in-betweens. I then merged the head with the mouth so I could animate the head movements. This is actually quite a destructive way to animate, so if anyone knows if you could make it into a group and then move the group while leaving the raw frame alone in Toon Boom, please let me know. Begging aside, after tweening the neck and wings, I think this came out pretty good. I decided to skip the third shot and move on to the last two. The last two are a medium and close-up shot of Pearl and Clay reacting to the information. And I love animating character expressions, so I had fun. The last shot I worked on was this one where Pearl enters the stadium and Clay sees her. I animated her wings encompassing the screen, and I like how the composition came out, I don't know. The animation process overall has gone pretty smoothly, and I'm hoping the rest of the process will go as background 1 does not go well. So the first shot is an establishing shot of the arena. And fun fact about the arena, it has these pillars to hold prisoners on top of. Very cool concept for flying dragons. Not as cool when you're trying to create an establishing shot of an arena where you actually want to see the dragons. The fun thing is, I didn't realize this angle didn't work with the pillars until sketching and blocking the colors. Great. I decided to use the background 1 sketch for another shot that would be more zoomed in so the pillars wouldn't be there. I scrapped it and decided to go for a bird's eye view. I like how the pillars draw the viewer's eyes to the arena instead of obstructing it. Background 2 would be a great time to say I decided to flip Pearl and Clay's animations since I realized that Pearl would be coming out of the arena on Scarlet's side. It doesn't matter too much, but I've never done something like this before and it amuses me. I wanted to make shot 2 a low angle because yes, I am a film student and I wanted to make Pearl more intimidating, but I forgot the slight problem that I don't know perspective and didn't even try. Drawing the background made me realize that she is at a really extreme angle. I played around with the background for a bit and realized it does look best at a high angle, so it looks a bit wonky, but I can live with it. This is a reminder to all animators to plan out your perspectives before just jumping into the animation. The next background thankfully went smoother, and I don't have too much to say, so let's just jump into the compositing. Compositing is the first time I see my backgrounds and animation together. Because of this, I always want to go back and tweak things here and there. I always try to leave the first pass for a day and come back to it with fresh eyes. And coming back, there were definitely a few things I wanted to change. I don't need this second establishing shot. Why did I even want to keep this? I realize it looks like Scarlet is referring to Pearl when she talks about a dragon with scales impervious to fire because she comes into the shot. Like, no, it's Clay. So, 2 dragons, 1 stone. I cut out the second establishing shot and moved it to the scene where Pearl is entering the shot. Now that I am finally happy with the shots, it is now time to polish it. Not much to say about the compositing. I mostly just added my gradients, blur, inner shadow layer, and voila, it's done. Just like that. With the final adjustments done, let's watch the final animation. On behalf of Prisoner Kestrel, my champion Pearl has asked to fight a dragon of my choosing. If Pearl wins, Kestrel goes free. If she loses, I guess I'll have to get another champion. I know what you're all thinking. Pearl can't lose. Well, it just so happens, here we have a dragon whose scales are impervious to fire. Uh-oh. Isn't that thrilling? I really like how this turned out. I primarily draw humans, so this was a nice change of pace. It was really fun transforming dragons who are known for their complex and intricate designs into these almost cat-like creatures. I would love to do more videos animating a comic page like this, so if you would like a sequel or have any other suggestions for comics, please let me know. That's about all for now.